Manchester United once believed they had closed the book on goalkeeper drama. When Andre Onana arrived, there was an air of finality. David De Gea, a club icon, had faded in decisive moments. The Sevilla implosion, the fumble at West Ham, the gut punch in the FA Cup final, and Erik ten Hag pulled the trigger. A new number one was supposed to be the evolution, not another chapter in chaos. Yet here we are. Deja vu, dripping from every parry, every spilled shot, every sidelong glance toward the bench. Andre Onana was meant to be the upgrade. A modern goalkeeper, comfortable with the ball at his feet, a Champions League finalist, handpicked for a system, not sentiment. But football doesn't care about resumes. It remembers your last mistake. And Onana's are starting to stack like bricks in a wall that now separates him from certainty. Dropped for the trip to St. James Park. Whether it was labelled rest or reset, the optics were brutal. The number one keeper benched ahead of a must-win Europa League quarter-final second leg, a game that might define the season. The prize? A golden ticket back into the Champions League and the financial life raft that comes with it. Yet Onana's position is no longer untouchable. Inside Carrington, whispers are turning into conversations. Some say he got rattled. Others believe the war of words with Nemanja Matic before the first Lion leg twisted his focus. It wasn't just the errors, though they were glaring. A free kick through the hands, a parried shot turned gift-wrapped assist. It was his demeanour, the stare into the crowd, the social media rebuttal, the sense that the moment was too loud, that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't locked in. Onana's defenders, of which there are still many, will point to the flashes of brilliance, double saves that drop jaws at Crystal Palace, Fenerbahce and Southampton, the kind of reactions that defy logic. They'll say the backline has changed more times than a half-time team talk, that he's had 3 different goalkeeper coaches in less than 2 years, that maybe he's not the problem, just a symptom of the chaos. But Amorim, now standing where Ten Hag once did, has a decision to make. Does he double down on Onana? Or does he pivot, just like Ten Hag did with De Gea? The stakes aren't just tactical, they're psychological. If Amorim benches Onana again for Lyon, what message does that send? If Onana stays, how do you rebuild trust when it's already starting to fracture? And then there's the money. Oh, the money. United still owe Inter the final payment on Onana's £43.8 million transfer fee. He's got 3 years left on his deal, which means he's sitting on a £26 million book value. To sell him without tanking the books, they'd need a buyer willing to offer more than that. Right now, that's fantasy. Even Saudi Arabia, often the great escape for Premier League players on bloated contracts, feels more like a rumour than a rescue plan. Behind the scenes, Onana knows all of this. That's why he switched agents. A fresh start, maybe a fresh deal, maybe a future beyond Manchester. He expected Champions League nights. Instead, he got booze in Lyon and speculation in April. But here's the irony. For all his stumbles in Europe, Bayern, Galatasaray, that suicidal pass to Casemiro, Onana still represents something United desperately wanted. A keeper who could play, who could build from the back, who could outfox a press and initiate the attack. Pep Guardiola himself sang his praises after the Champions League final. But the pace of Serie A doesn't exist in England. There's no time to breathe. No moment to reset. So what now? Onana might play Thursday. He might not. But the decision isn't just about one match. It's about identity. About whether United can afford to believe in a project that's wobbling under pressure. If Amorim backs him and Onana rises, the season might still be saved. If he falters, though, it's a long summer of negotiations, possible loans, and financial gymnastics. Because this isn't just about one man. It's about a club that can't seem to stop chasing its own mistakes. The ghosts of De Gea linger in the shadows, and now Onana finds himself in the same cold light. History, after all, doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. And this verse sounds awfully familiar.